Hello, everybody, and welcome to Five Guys on Live. We are really excited for you to join us tonight. We have a really, everybody mute if you're not talking. We have a really big episode full of so much news and so many things happened last week, and we're really excited to bring that to you. We are really also very excited to have the dynamic Wash duo here with us on Five Guys on Live. At the very beginning of us doing any kind of endeavor for you on a social media platform, Donte Wash, the brother of Rodney, has been right here with us. He tunes in. It's like he's always a part of the show. He's always been a part of the show, so we're really happy to have him. Donte, unmute for me, my friend, and welcome to Five Guys on Live. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting me. Glad to be here.
Well, we are happy to have you. And so, as is customary of all of our guests who join us, I want you to ask a question that each of us will have to answer. So what is your question for the Five Guys on Live?
I guess my first question is going to be a debate. I mean,
now, Donte, you only get one question. You ain't getting more than one. You get one question.
My question is about the debate.
Okay. So, and who would you like to have go first?
You can go first, Zach.
You know what? I'm happy to do so. I went first last week. I'll go first again. There is no question of who won the debate. We're going to talk in greater depth about the debate on tonight's show. But tonight, the hands down, the debate was won by Joe Biden. Anybody out there who says otherwise or who felt as though Joe Biden did not do a great job needs to go back and rewatch the debates. Joe Biden actually had more speaking time than Donald Trump. He gave actual answers, whereas Donald Trump didn't answer really any questions. And he really wasn't the one interrupting. He was interrupted. Donald Trump interrupted Joe Biden 73 times. Donald Trump spoke for 38 minutes. Joe Biden spoke for 43 minutes. It's not a question.
Okay. Am I still echoing?
You sound great. So you just call out who you want to go next, and we'll go around and move into the topics.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You call out who you want to have go next. Who do you want to answer your question next?
We can go to Rodney.
I would say this, Donte. Honestly, I have to agree with Zach. It's no questions asked that Lord Jesus, he's trying to get me. President Biden didn't lose the debate because I feel like Donald Trump was really just all over the place. He was just trying to say stuff that didn't really matter. I know we will talk more about this later on, but if I had to say who won, it was definitely Biden.
Okay, CJ?
Well, I think everyone answered it, but of course, Biden won hands down. Trump was just rude, obnoxious. He wasn't answering any of the questions. He was going around in circles. And then every time that Biden tried to answer the question, he just wanted to shut him down because he knew he was going to speak the truth. It was just a poor taste on his behalf to speak like that as the current president, and knowing that, Biden had the truth. I will say, though, Donald Trump's shade and his facial expressions are hilarious to me. I couldn't stop laughing at his facial expressions. But yes, Biden hands down won for sure.
All right, Vince.
Hey, yeah, I agree with everyone else on the panel tonight. I feel that Biden won, and I will share my in-depth thoughts about it once we hit the topic later on.
And it's going to be, and we're going to let you, Donte, tell us what you think when we get to that topic. We're going to let you start us off. for all of our viewers, it really has been a very full week. We're going to go right because this is probably one of the most full episodes of Five Guys on Live with so many things to talk about. So I'm going to do my very best to moderate and keep us moving along at an expeditious pace. And we're going to start with this topic. CJ, it really starts off with what you selected and talking to us about Florida and COVID-19. This has been one of the milestone weeks. Last week was a milestone week in America's COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to turn it over to you. Tell us all about it.
So yes, as we still are undergoing a pandemic right now, and certain states are moving from phases 1 to 2, 3. Particular the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis has decided to go to phase 3. He said that there would be no limitations, no face masks would be required. All businesses will be open from now on, and people should not be penalized or fined for not wanting to practice social distancing. I'm just lost for words with it, honestly. And it's the reason why I picked this topic, because I want everyone's opinion on it. I know some people take the pandemic serious, some people aren't, some people just want to get back to their normal lives, and I get it. But do you really think, as a governor, do you think it's okay to move to phase 3, knowing that we're into the fall season, flu season's coming up now, and then you're flat out saying that, no limitations, no masks, no social distancing, and then he wants to erase everyone who had got fines for not abiding by the social distancing rule. However, the city of Miami said that they will not be moving into phase 3 yet. They will move into phase 3 slowly but surely, but certain businesses will not be opening still. So that's the city of Miami. So I definitely want to get your guys' feedback on that. And what do you think, and do you think other states are going to follow that suit now, because he wants to move? Well, he is. It wasn't as of last Friday, but the Friday before last, it was official that they were in phase 3. And I'm just scared that other states are going to follow that suit.
For me, I feel like outside of him definitely being known as one of Trump's lackeys, if you will, the prime reason, or if not the majority of it all, is simply because the state of Florida is hosting the Super Bowl come January. February.
Right, but he also mentioned that, and he said that they have planned on still hosting it. And I'm like, are you serious?
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, you have to look. I mean, if you watch the NFL, we can probably turn it on, the Falcons and the Packers right now. Some stadiums do have people, hosted. I mean, some stadiums do have people inside of them as the players are playing or what have you. So, I mean, we know that as many times as we have discussed the differences between the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, capitalism is the root of it. We got to open the economy. I don't want to miss no check. I don't want to miss no money. And we all know, especially me working at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, when the Super Bowl came to Atlanta, that was a lot of money that the city made and a lot of money that the stadium got as well. Arthur Blank and all the rest of them, or what have you. So, hey, I mean, but you have to. I don't think it's worth people's lives. But on that same token, this is not the same. This isn't the last time or the first time you've asked that question. That's been the Republican Party. I mean, look at the state of Georgia right now. You see how Kemp has accelerated our openings way. Like, we was opening way before everybody else was open. Atlanta open right now. You get what I'm saying? So, and even to answer your question, I just feel like, Republican governed states, South Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, I think they're all, on the same ballpark right now. But for strictly speaking towards DeSantis, I really think it's because of the Super Bowl.
Well, if it's towards the Super Bowl, when he go into phase 3 later on as it gets closer to the Super Bowl, why do it now in October when the Super Bowl is not to the end of January?
I don't think so, because the NFL, the committee, they need to see. They need reassurance or assurance that, okay, is your city going to be open? Do you have you practiced all the COVID blah 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 steps beforehand? So when we land there come February, we already know what to do. You get what I'm saying? I think it's assurance for the NFL.
So this is my thing. You want to open up the whole, well, they didn't open. They already opened up the whole city, okay, in phase 3. And I think North Carolina just went into phase 3 as well as of Friday. But we had it here just 2 months ago when school started at high school, and literally 50 kids caught corona after one day of school opening. So if you think that could happen in a school, what do you think could possibly happen in a stadium capacity?
So what I want to add to this discussion is that, first and foremost, this is going on as we speak. In the state of Georgia, COVID-19 is still surging. It's just that I want everyone to remember when your president, Donald Trump, switched from having our states uniformly report to the CDC to then reporting to like state agencies and reporting to the White House, he now has a locus of controlling the flow of information. Don't think for one moment that cases of COVID-19 have decreased in the state. In addition to that, we know that COVID-19 is also surging in schools. We had an outbreak just last week at elementary school, and this is not a new ring, Candace. It's just a fashionable old ring. We had a case in, when I get a ring on this hand, you will know. I promise, you're going to know, and you will be not only invited, but a part of the ceremony. So what you had is that at Asa Hilliard, someone needs to mute for me, please, because I hear if you can mute for me. At Asa Hilliard, I think it's a middle school in Fulton County, maybe an elementary school. They actually had, it is an elementary. They actually had to close school down because of COVID-19. But schools don't have to actually report this anymore. And as a result, parents don't actually know the real numbers unless they do a lot of research and a lot of digging. I do agree with Vince that in order for there to be a viable Super Bowl in the state of Florida, that they need to open. But guess what, people? There probably won't be a viable Super Bowl because football players are now contracting COVID-19. Just, I think it was on Saturday. Cam Newton tested positive. And not only that, but there's a whole entire outbreak on his team. Our push by the federal government to reopen the economy is leading to people not only losing their lives, but becoming very ill and possibly having long-term side effects from this illness. So I think this is a horrible decision on the part of DeSantis and on the part of every single Republican governor, really everyone who's pushing to open. It is not a good idea. Even for our school systems who are pushing to reopen, it is a bad idea because they don't have real data to work from.
Well, it's funny, and it's good that you brought up the school system, which kind of goes into my second topic with the same thing within COVID with New York. The mayor, Bill de Blasio, he wants to actually think about closing schools and all non-essential businesses because there's been an uptick in 3% in the past 7 days of coronavirus positive test. There was 9 zip codes that were particularly impacted, and those 9 zip codes were in the boroughs of Queens and Brooklyn. So we're seeing it now. And now, to prevent what was this epicenter of the coronavirus in New York, they're getting ready to shut back. And if it's just going to be in those 9 zip codes, I guarantee within the next 2 weeks, it's probably going to be the whole city.
I want to say this. CJ, I want to say thank you for picking this lovely topic. I really enjoyed reading it. And I'm not really surprised about Florida. I can't speak for the rest of the guys, but for me, Florida, do dumb stuff all the time. And like we all said, came to the senses of it was for the Super Bowl. And I have not watched football. I have not even seen one game. And I love the Saints, but I'm still protesting on that end. I think it's foolish. The cases of Florida has not dropped at all. And it's just for money. In the day, you guys, this is for money. And like I want to say, every show until election day, you need to vote. Everything's about money. Your life means nothing in this economy. Under Republican economy, your life is no value. If you're not making money, you mean nothing. They don't care about you. You can die on the wayside. I have seen numerous of pictures of people, mothers, just get out the hospital and they're weak. They can barely walk. It's sad. COVID-19 is real. Not going on to New York. I want to say I'm very proud of Mayor of New York. I think that's very admirable what he's doing. I feel like he cares for his city and to shut stuff down. We should not be open. And like everyone has said, we're going into the flu season. The flu season is nothing to play with, you guys. And we're trying to open during winter, and then, Trump called it. That's a whole nother topic. But like, I just truly hope that America wakes up and vote and stop making excuses for these people. These people don't care about you. If you're not rich, I don't understand what you're doing with a Republican Party. Period.
Donte, Candace is very excited. She said Professor Wash is going to teach us tonight. So what are your thoughts regarding the reopening of Florida, moving into phase 3, despite the cases of COVID-19 not being lowered?
Hopefully I'm not echoing. Am I good? Okay. So this is my issue. How long can the state be shut down for? I mean, the numbers are going to go up regardless whether you open or close. So if you keep it shut, I mean, what's that's going to do? Eventually, you got to open back up the state. I mean, it's just business aren't making no money. You're doing more harm than you are good by keeping it closed.
Other countries have actually shut down for a long period of time, and they're doing phenomenal now.
And Tatiana brings up a really good point, and she said the effort to reopen the economy without actually addressing the root cause of the economic downturn, the pandemic is just dragging down or dragging out the recovery. The economy will suffer because this administration tried to rush back to normal. And not only, Tatiana, I agree 100%. And not only will the economy suffer because of a rush back to normalcy, it's also going to suffer because this country failed to do right by the American people and provide the appropriate support to move forward. The House of Representatives under Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi just passed another revised version of the stimulus bill. Remember, I talked to you back in all summer about how in May they approved a round 2 of the stimulus package that was at $3 trillion in relief. The Senate shot it down. They wanted to roll that back significantly to $1 trillion. So then the House of Representatives last week passed a new plan that was $2 trillion. So they're trying to compromise, and they worked with Secretary of the Treasury Steve Mnuchin, Donald Trump's White House representative appointed by President Trump, the Secretary of the Treasury, to come up with a plan that the Senate won't even look at. Now they are shut down because of their own COVID outbreak, because they're allowed to do that, although schools and businesses can't. They have done that in the Senate and won't even consider this new package. The American people are hurting. People are being evicted right now. People are being denied health care right now. People are being denied unemployment right now. And the federal government is completely failing them in that effort. And as Bella said, it is scary. She has, you haven't left your home during March. I support that. I ask that you don't do that because it isn't safe for you to do that. Just today, finally, the CDC owned up to the fact that COVID-19 is way more airborne than what we are aware of, and it's really good that just be safe. And that is the argument that I have for you, Donte, is that if the American people would have known what was happening in the beginning, if President Trump would not have downplayed COVID-19, if he wouldn't have called it a hoax, if he would have been forthcoming with the people, I believe that more Americans would have hunkered down, been still from March until July. And that would have given this country a chance to get this under control, as it did in other countries. But because people did not know how serious this was, they fought against mask mandates and they just spread the virus like wildfire. Now, because we're open and because it's becoming a politicized issue, we refuse to do what's right and shut down. And now it is beyond getting under control. I do agree with you there. You can't fix this. 7.3 million Americans have contracted COVID-19. There's no way to contain that.
All right, so I mean, it was gonna come here regardless. Americans was coming from China to come here, so eventually the virus is gonna get here. So whether you knew it was coming or not, it was gonna be here. My main issue is the fact that, I mean, Democrats was against Trump shutting down flights from China. They was calling him xenophobic and racist and stuff. So then he let flights come from China, and now the virus is here. So, I guess your argument is we should have did better to contain it. But I mean, we got precautions not to get the flu, and people still get the flu. So exactly what can you do to keep yourself from catching an airborne virus? Cover your mouth. Masks work, but they're not 100%, effective. Nothing is when it comes to the coronavirus. So you stay at home for 2 weeks and you quarantine yourself, and you shut down the country forever. How long you think it needs to be shut down? The virus is still going to be here. Trying to contain the coronavirus, like trying to contain the flu. I mean, people are going to catch it. They're going to catch it.
Donte, I don't disagree with you on that at all. I absolutely agree with that. Some people are going to catch it. The argument is that if people would have known the severity of this virus and the likelihood of transmission and the impact of the virus as projected by professionals, as downplayed by President Trump, the impact would not have been as severe. You wouldn't have 7.2 million people having contracted this virus, over 20, almost approaching that 20% threshold of all world cases being in the United States of America. That's the argument I'm making. In addition, you have never never seen the efforts being recommended by the CDC that's being recommended for coronavirus having been recommended for the flu. You've never in your life been told that you should wear a mask everywhere you go. And it is a proven fact that transmission of the flu is almost non-existent in countries that did the appropriate social distancing guidelines. If in America we were always social distancing to avoid the flu, guess what? We wouldn't have the flu. You also wouldn't have the flu if every American took the flu vaccine. Some people would still get it, but it would be nowhere near as epidemic as it is now. Yet and still you have a number of people that refuse to get a flu shot because they say the vaccine doesn't work because of the disinformation. And that's the level of disinformation that's being perpetuated by President Donald Trump. All the things that this man and his administration has done only adds fuel to the fire that leads to our American decline. Despite the fact, as Matthew pointed out, he himself has the virus. And that goes into Rodney's story. His selection for tonight.
I want to say this.
Right, yeah. I want to jump into. Go ahead, Ryan.
I just say,
are you for sure? Guys, I do want to manage the time and get all the stories in. I'm going to mute.
But you talk for 10 minutes of the 15 minutes.
We're in 21.
Right, yeah.
But I would ask you this question.
Well, let me tell you, when you guys get to some of your topics that I don't like, I'm not going to say anything.
Anyway, but
because your topics, you didn't pick good topics.
You have to let people speak. But Donte, I find it a bit interesting that you said that the Democrats, that President Trump tried to stop all airlines coming from China. Are you 100% sure on that? Are you just like, where do you get this information from?
It was on the news. It was calling him xenophobic and said he was being racist against Chinese people when he tried to ban flights from China. The Democrats called him out.
What news station?
And as far as the virus, it's not really entirely on President Trump why the virus spread like wildfire. There was misinformation put out by pretty much all news sources. Don't wear a mask, wear a mask. I mean, the 6 feet apart thing, there are people saying that you don't need to be 6 feet apart. Some people said 7 or 8. Some people say it lingers around for 14 days if you touch something. Some people say it wasn't. So there was so much misinformation being put out there. I mean, what was American people supposed to do? I mean, I didn't wear a mask because I didn't think I had to wear a mask. Then all of a sudden, Dr. Fauci says, hey, you need to wear a mask. Well, I've been walking around for like months without wearing a mask, so now I'm being told I have to wear a mask. So how many Americans just went along with what they was told, just back and forth information? So eventually people was going to catch it.
But Donte, I would say that
you can blame President Trump, but at the end of the day, though, you had so many news sources saying that it wasn't a big of a deal. It is a big deal. Oh, it's not. It's a hoax. It's not a hoax. People didn't know what to believe.
Donte, I would say that it was a lot of banter going back and forth from one news station to the other. We all should have been unified on what information was given out, and that is true. Because it was you would have some people say it had to be 6 feet. Some said 8.
Dr. Fauci said
it was a lot. So when it first was developing, there was a lot of stuff that was going around. That's true. Now he's not lying on it. Nah, I'm not gonna say I didn't see.
He's misinformed.
So Zach, you're telling me that news stations did not say that?
If you will allow me to clarify, I'm going to clarify real quick because I don't want to talk too much. I want to say this. Dr. Fauci, as well as Surgeon General in the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, said don't wear a mask because they were short on N95 masks, and they wanted to make sure that the essential workers who are exposed to the virus every single day to save the lives of people like you who don't wear a mask can continue to save your life. Because if they die, there's no one to save you because you refuse to wear a mask. That is why Dr. Fauci said don't wear a mask. So when people like Donald Trump attack Dr. Fauci and say that he said that, they're taking out of context what I heard him say myself. He said it's not important for Americans to wear a mask right now because we're short on N95 masks. That's what he said. Additionally, you had a whole bunch of, I have never heard on MSNBC conflicting information. I have never heard on CNN conflicting information. I have never heard on ABC News conflicting information. Where you, Donte, may be getting your news from, Fox News, yeah, they've been misleading you and your followers and the followers of Donald Trump the whole time. That's who's been giving you fake news.
Everyone was giving fake news about this virus. Everyone. We was told multiple things. I mean, I didn't hear about the 6 feet until 3 months of the virus being here. So how many people was in social distancing before they?
Donte, they didn't know that. They didn't know this virus is brand new. Something that they're saying they didn't know.
Right. And to Dante's point though, because they didn't know that the story was constantly being developed. So what was initially told or what initially was not told, exactly, it developed and it evolved as the months came and so on and so forth. My position on this take right now is the train has left the station at this point. Okay, it is what it is. There's no turning back, and we clearly see how different governors and different politicians are deciding to lead this. So we know who the fault lies with, we know who the blame lies with, or whatever the case is. But resting on shoulda, woulda, coulda is not going to get us anywhere. Period. Point blank. You can talk about what had happened 6 months ago, but now we're talking about now, because clearly what could have happened in March did not happen. Okay, so instead of resting and creating a debate around what should have happened, we need to be addressing what needs to happen now in October. So going to what I feel, and I like to salute and congratulate New York mayor of what he's doing, is trying to backtrack and double down and reassure schools and stuff like that to keep them safe. Now, thinking long term, in the event that Biden wins this upcoming election, I think one thing that will possibly hurt him is the fact that he has said that he wants to do a shutdown of the country, just trying to get, secure and contain from coronavirus and stuff like that. Now, one thing that I probably, outside of Zach, a lot of us have to be accountable of, whether you live in blue state or red state, especially those of us that live in Atlanta, we are all guilty. We cannot sit up here and say that we are getting our feelings and get upset about how such and such should have did this with the virus, but then Atlanta is open and we all out doing XYZ or what have you, when we are now a part of the issue. And that's real. So for me, and I'm preaching to myself, because I took my ass to New Orleans when I probably shouldn't have, and I've done some things on the weekends when I probably shouldn't have. I probably should be going, doing stuff like Zach been doing, till everybody sit their ass inside. And that's real. So I want to put that out there. So when Biden wins and he lays that hammer down, everybody that has been taking advantage of this situation, you cannot get in your feelings. I just want to speak 6 months from now.
Vice President Biden isn't going to shut the country down. That was my argument earlier when I said that we're too far beyond that point. The time to save lives and do a shutdown has passed us by, and we failed to take advantage of it. We could have shut the economy down from April or March until July and gotten this under control and then managed cases. We're too far gone with 7.2 million cases. What I want to say, Vince, back to what you said, we got to move on. We've got to go to the next topic, which it really relates to this, is that it is an argument about who you believe. You can sit here and say that Dr. Fauci gave wrong information. You can sit here and say that you can't trust the media, but you're only perpetuating what Donald Trump wants the American people to believe and what he wants to make you think. He's constantly giving out disinformation and changing the narrative so he can confuse the American people and mislead those people who aren't able to critically think and see facts. There is extreme danger in that kind of a mentality, because our press and freedom of press exists to protect the American people from the tyranny of authoritarian fascist leaders like Donald Trump. So if you want to believe Donald Trump, you believe him. If you want to believe Fox News, you believe that. Or if you want to believe the scientists and you want to believe the real free press, then you can believe that. We must move forward into your topic of the night, Rodney, your good friend here. Tell us all about it.
He is not my good friend. That's fake news, Fox News. Well, let me say this. Honestly, though, this is really weird to me. So we all know, you guys, that Donald Trump did lose the debate. It is so ironic to me. I'm just speaking for what I think. Now he's saying, "Oh, I have the coronavirus." So now that debates that's supposed to happen are not going to happen. If his staff around him keep continue to catch COVID, who's going to help him practice his debate? Who's going to help him do all this stuff? Even his press secretary has coronavirus. These key people work closely with the president. I feel like this is all a game. Donald Trump was seen in numerous pictures in numerous places at one time and one day, which cannot be conducive to him for him to do that. It did not make any logical sense. I feel like Donald Trump is just, now he know that he dug himself in a hole when he made that racist ass statement about the good boys. And now he just trying to find any type of way to make sure he don't go against anyone who's going to speak facts, not this shit like a toddler. I am so tired of Donald Trump. Now, but my question for the Trump supporters, how do you feel now that you know that allegedly, well, no, he said he had it, like they said allegedly, that now that your president has coronavirus when it was told it was fake and not real and blah, 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 blah. And now the whole White House has coronavirus. And I'm going to say this. I saw some exact post like, I'm not praying for the president. I'm not going to pray for anybody that was right here acting like the coronavirus is not real. You will not get one sympathy prayer from me. That's what's wrong with the Democrats. We gotta pray. We gotta say no. Stop being nice to these people who are not nice to you. My grandma taught me that. Don't respect people. Don't respect you. That man had disrespected everyone in this country. Where to go back? Don't say point. Whatever news source was out there. It is what it is. I don't have to pray for him. Don't mean I want the man to die. Don't mean none of that. So he's somebody's father. But I don't have to waste a prayer on Donald Trump. I'm not wasting a prayer on somebody who did not care about his life. Period. If that makes me a bad guy, oh well. But like I'm going to say this, I'm going to say this again for the record. I feel like he's faking the coronavirus. I feel like he's just saying it so he don't have to debate. And it is what it is. Donald Trump,
agree with you. I agree that he's faking it.
It is what it is.
I think it's really interesting. If you all watched the nomination, whatever that was, press conference, I guess, of Supreme Court Judge nominee Amy Coney Barrett. And if you've seen the diagram that a lot of news media outlets have created, they have like an aerial picture of those persons that attended in the crowd, and they've outlined in red everybody in that picture that has caught coronavirus. And you can see the proximity of those sitting next to each other. Pence was sitting behind this person. McKinney was over here. Perfect. Thank you, Zach. And it sort of reminds me of Final Destination. The first one with the plane, and then at the end when he sort of put two and two together, well, I'm not going to die because this person in front of me died. That whole kind of situation. That's what it really reminds me of. At this point, to your question, Rodney, I feel like the Trump supporters don't care. I think I want to say either one of our news outlets here in Atlanta, they did an interview with some Trump supporters about after he contracted the virus, and they were like, well, we're still not going to wear a mask, and we're still going to support Donald Trump. So they don't care. So right now, trying to understand the Trump supporter is beyond me. Okay, trying to understand the Trump supporter in the logic that we look at it through the optics of the world and how I guess you and I were raised and other people were raised, it's beyond us right now. But I feel like going back to what I said in last week's episode, people are supporting the message of Trump versus the person that he is. I feel like it could have been Big Bird, Snuffleupagus, or Elmo. If these three Sesame Street characters acted like the way or carried the message that Trump is carrying, his supporters will continue to support and build ammunition and back him no matter what. Again, it is the message. It is what they see as their freedom, what they see as their constitution, and their personal liberties, whatever the case is. That is the Trump supporters. So again, trying to wreak havoc your brain around why do the Trump supporters feel the way they do and support him, it doesn't even matter at this point anymore because it's not going to change.
Can I say this, Zach? Can you please pull up Matthews Owens when he said, but now the Trump campaign
I was going to come after I was saving it.
Can you pull up?
If it's in later.
Yeah. I want to say this. Now it makes sense to me. And I knew this stuff was a hoax. I didn't even know this. So now he's going to say he has experience with the corona. Now it all makes sense. So yeah, that man's an effing liar. I'm not wasting a prayer on him. I'm done. Bye, Donald. Bye, Donald.
This is not a hoax. I'm going to give you, I posted about why. Let me just really quickly explain why it's not. You can believe it's a hoax because people are going to believe whatever they want to believe. But there is no way in the last 30 days of one of the most close elections in battleground states in history, somebody would fake having COVID-19 and take off the campaign trail just to not debate. If Donald Trump did not want to engage in the debates, he was already given a chance to get out of the debate because they're changing the rules. Because they're changing the rules, he can simply say, I didn't agree to these rules in the beginning, therefore I'm not going to debate. His supporters would have been happy to believe that and support him and not do any kind of dissension from him, because we know that Trumplicans are backing him 100%. That is an illogical reason as to why he would fake having COVID-19. Let me also give you a little bit more evidence. And I'm going to give you this rundown really quickly of the infection. So here you have the super spreader event from Saturday. My belief is that more than likely, everyone who attended this event probably contracted COVID-19 on that Saturday, which gives you an appropriate timeline for President Trump to actually get sick and feel severe symptoms starting on Thursday, going over into Friday when he was hospitalized, which is normal. Here's a picture as of Sunday, not including today, of people who have been infected. You have Chris Christie. You have the president of Notre Dame. You have Kellyanne Conway, Melania Trump, Donald Trump himself. And then you have two senators who also were present, who are part of the Senate Judiciary Committee that possibly will result in them not being able to confirm Judge Amy Coney Barrett. In addition, when you go over to the next, very briefly here, these are all the people that have tested positive. If COVID-19 was a hoax, that means that all of these people would be involved in the hoax. And I'm not saying that that's not possible, because it is possible. Republicans will follow their leader. But what is unlikely to happen is that every single person's doctor who confirmed a positive diagnosis will follow along with it. Everybody in the world is not in cahoots with misleading the American people. The doctors at Walter Reed Medical Center are military officials. These are not like doctors who go to regular medical schools. These are military doctors who are sworn by an oath to uphold and protect the American people. So even if Donald Trump is unwilling to honor his oath to the American people, that's not the case with the doctors at Walter Reed. They would not come out, stand in unity, and lie to the American people. This man has COVID-19. There is no question about that. Then look at Donald Trump's irresponsibility when he then traveled in the course of a week, possibly causing a spread of COVID-19 to all of these places. This is a serious incident, and again, in American history. Last week will go down as a historic moment in America. And we cannot say, in my opinion, when we say that Donald Trump's COVID-19 is a hoax, we are downplaying this man's failure to protect the American people. We are also downplaying this man's disregard for the American people. He put all of these people's lives at risk because he refused to wear a mask, because he refused to social distance, and he wasn't alone. Every single member of that event on Saturday is complicit in the damage being done to the American people. Every single one of them. And he very well may be okay now or better enough to leave this hospital, but one of those people, they will infect someone, and someone is going to die, and that's going to be on the hands of the American president.
I'm gonna say this for the record. I know a lot about having cancer. So again, like my grandma said, if you have a mouth, you can lie. If you have enough people in your team who will help you with your lie, they will lie. Now, I find it very interesting what Matthew said. Now they say he has first-hand experience with COVID. Like that, to me, it's a political game. So we cannot sit here and act like we're going to ignore that is very much true. Like I said, I find it very ironic now that this man has not been wearing masks. Donald Trump been around numerous of people who were less than 6 feet apart. He was just signing autographs and told himself $5,000 on eBay. So I find it very interesting that now he has the coronavirus. I'm sorry, this is how I feel.
Rodney, he has to spin it. So now that he has COVID-19 and everyone knows, he's been sitting in that hospital with his advisors. How can we spin this and make this look good for me? That's why he's saying that he has that firsthand experience. That's how the political game works. Because here's more data for everyone on the live cast. People, Joe Biden, as of today, 23 hours ago from us going live, is up 14 points. Joe Biden's been up 10 points. Then he went up 12 points. Now, after the COVID-19 and the debates, he has now gone up a historic 14 points nationally. And I'm going to drill down for you in those battleground states, but he is now 14 points ahead of Donald Trump. This is a serious moment in the Trump campaign. It is looking like Joe Biden is steamrolling over this man. So, of course, he's going to spin it because COVID-19 is the biggest failure of his presidency. And it has undone the only thing that he had to claim as a successful moment is the growth of the economy that President Barack Hussein Obama handed him.
I guess never let a good crisis go to waste. Situations, the October surprise, whatever you want to call it. I guess when you look at it as a planned move, because he can say he has it, or he might not have it. I don't know if it's true, but if he has it, he gets a sympathy from the American people, some of them, his supporters, and some people that's iffy about voting for him. And then if he has it, then he beats it. He can show how strong he is and how little the virus is. He can downplay the virus, So it was just a smart move on his part. Well, not really a smart move, but it was like, I guess, a Trump move, if you ask me. Hey guys, I have it, but you know what? I beat it. It's not that bad. You can beat it too. Vote for me. I'll lead you. I'll show you how. It was that type of thing. So, I don't know if he has it, if he doesn't have it, but basically.
Well, I mean, even if he does have it and then he says, hey, I have it and I can beat it, there's a difference. He has health care and has access to things that other people don't have access to. So if they believe that, then shame on them, knowing that this man had better health care than the average American.
Well, I guess he's just trying to like boost the morale up for his support. Like, hey guys, look how old I am. I had the virus, and I beat it. You can too. That type of thing. And he gonna use it to attack Joe Biden. Like, if Joe would have called, he probably would have died from it, y'all. But look at me, I'm strong. So it was that type of thing. That's all it was.
I agree with you, Donte, and it would not surprise me if he says that at the next presidential debate, directly quoting what you just said, Donte, that if you would have caught it, then you would have died, but I'm still alive. Like, that just sounds like something crazy.
That's why I was like, why are the Democrats showing sympathy? The man's gonna use this to advantage and attack. And you got people like, oh, we wish him well. We wish him well. Trump is gonna come out with so many attack campaign ads.
But we're not Republicans. Our candidate is not Donald Trump. We are Democrats. We are always going to go high. Not only are we going to go high ethically, but we're also going to go high intellectually. So we're not going to stoop down to the level of Donald Trump. When this man was in the hospital sick, fighting for his life, and as is appropriate of every top Democrat, they chose to pull back and give him and his family courtesy and respect. And it's okay if Donald Trump doesn't do that. And it's okay if Republicans don't do that. We're not Republicans. We never will be Republicans.
Donte, can you repeat your comment again to Zachary?
Oh, that didn't work for Hillary. Look, that's standing on the high ground. I mean, I get it. But at the same time, you're trying to win, aren't you? The goal is to win. You got to win any means necessary. That's just
now.
I'm gonna say this real quick.
Who you are. Some things are more important than winning, and you know what? Integrity sometimes matters more. But guess what? Again, people look at the polls. This is today's data. Joe Biden is up 14 points.
The American people, you can't. Hillary is up on the polls. The polls don't mean
nothing. Exactly. I ain't studying them polls at all. Like, yeah, on paper and on numbers, they look good. But to Dante's point, Hillary was doing some good work in them polls too, and everybody thought she had it in the bag. And let me touch on that real quick, because I feel like that's also a reason why people do not vote. Because it's like, oh, well, Hillary is ahead in the polls, so she got it. Or I know my mama gonna vote, so I really ain't gotta vote because Trump ain't gonna be. And we get in this place of complacency and depending on everybody else. Oh, the polls is leading. Oh, my mama and my grandma gonna vote, so I'm good. I ain't gotta do it. The country gonna be all right. And then here we go. 3.5 years ago, we get this type of situation on our hands. So, ladies and gentlemen, I agree. The polls may look nice and all, and I'm sure they are accurate to some degree, but you still got to put the work behind the polls. You still got to get out there and vote because people see numbers. Zach, we talked about this already. The headline readers, I'm telling you, it's probably at least 10% of Americans that will see that report that you just said, that you just put up there. Biden is 14 points ahead of Trump, and then people probably like, oh, well, we got this. I ain't got to stress on November 3rd. I'm gonna stay at home. I guarantee you, people thinking that same way right now.
Let me say this, Vince. And 800 people statistically do not speak for millions of Americans. That data would not even hold any weight in any scientific proven data. So, like, let's just keep it real. 800 people voted. I mean, did this little research and not even speak for all of America? No.
Guys, this is why. Let me tell you. I will say this, and I know some episodes I don't talk as much. I know you don't believe that, but this is why I talk so much, is because when you say things that are wrong, I am not going to be able to sit here and let you get away with it, because I have responsibility to everybody who's watching to give you some facts. And let me give you some facts. I know everyone on this live cast, we all think that we're experts and we're really, really smart. But there are people in this world that have degrees in statistics, psychometrics, and polling that do this work. Now, all I want to say is, when you talk about, we thought Hillary Clinton thought she had in the bag, people, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by 3 million voters. 3 million votes. She won the popular vote. Now, let me go back and show you. Y'all got me so heated. Hold on. I don't minimize my screen. Hold on. So I'm going to give you, not this is the wrong thing. Y'all got me all conflated. You got me conflated because you be just saying stuff that's wrong. So here is a model of the actual battleground states. I'm going to blow this up. I want to call everyone's attention to the battleground states. This is the part that we should be concerned about. When it talks about 14 points ahead, it's nationally. Nationally, Joe Biden is ahead. That means a popular vote. There is no doubt that Joe Biden is going to win the popular vote. And only 4 other times in American history has someone won the popular vote but lost the Electoral College. Twice in the 1800s. One of them was, I think it was Hayes, Cleveland, then Bush, and now Trump. But this is what we should be concerned about, the Electoral College. Take a look at this. For those who are watching, what you have is the discrepancy in Iowa with both Biden and Trump in the dead heat. Iowa really doesn't matter. It's only, I want to say, maybe 3 electoral votes. Not a big deal. But again, every electoral vote counts. The issue is 8% of voters say they don't know how they're going to vote. They're undecided. Look at Ohio, 47% Biden, 46% Trump, still a large number of people in between undecided they're going to count. Georgia, 48% Biden, 46% Trump, still undecided voters in the middle. The same thing goes for North Carolina, Florida, Texas, Arizona. These states are critical and crucial in the battle. And not only those states, but we get to the real hard battleground states of Michigan and Pennsylvania and then Nevada. Those undecided voters really will come into play. So even though the polls say a 14-point increase, lead for Joe Biden, that's popular vote. What matters are these swing state votes, and people who really look at polls, they're looking every week at the Monday polls to see how the opinions are changing in those areas, because we want to see where those undecided voters are going to land. When you talk about people, Donte, right now, people are tired of the arguing. They're tired of the divisiveness. And these are the undecided voters. Joe Biden is not trying to win Republicans over. He doesn't want Republican votes because he knows that many of them are loyal to Trump. He's trying to get those undecided voters. And when you do the right thing and you pull back, that has been very popular with those voters. And that's the political strategy that's at play. So I can't let you guys sit here and say polls don't matter, don't listen to polls. People have degrees in this stuff and they do this work, and it's good work. Pollsters are just as proficient as doctors and lawyers and educators and preachers. People don't just randomly pull out degrees in statistics.
Let me say this, was it not a shock CNN? I had to go back and look at my phone. CNN was very shocked that Trump won, because they just knew Hillary had it in the bag. And the poll said, quantitative data, however you want to put whatever you put on it, that Hillary was going to win. Period. So you're not gonna see her act like Zach, like Vince said. A lot of people was relaxed because according to the polls, that Hillary had it.
Those numbers lie.
So you're not gonna see act like it's not no discrepancies in it. Now, according to I think it's effed up. I don't like electoral colleges, but in the day, if you don't win, if they don't vote for you, they don't vote for you. Even they state won the popular vote. So like that's a whole nother thing that needs to be refixed within our voting precincts and things. Like I don't agree with electoral colleges because I believe what Americans wanted, let that be what they want. Not because your electoral college like, you know what, I'm gonna cast these votes for Trump anyway. Cause like if you want to be real, Hillary thought she had it. She was making, the stop things, she was making all these good little things, and then looking real sad on when he got inaugurated. Like she wanted to cry. So we're not gonna see her act like she was not shocked that she lost.
Yeah. So I mean, again, Zach, I completely agree with everything that you said, and I appreciate the breakdown that you did because a lot of people need to hear that. A lot of people need to get educated about that. I'm just speaking from the position of I know that in spite of the polls, I know that I'm still going to vote, but I still feel like there is a large percentage of Americans that see that such and such is leading in the polls and they get complacent and they get comfortable because first off, I really don't want to vote already. Okay, now I'm drawing and I'm pushing myself to vote. But then when I see this poll number, well, technically, I guess I really ain't got to because he already gonna win. People think like that. And so my position in saying that is you still have to do the work in spite of the polls. Yes, the polls are great. We have great people backing them. They have the degrees and everything, the full 9 yards. But you still need to go to the polls. To the polls and vote to make sure that whoever the polls is saying is leading is going to win. Do not get complacent and do not get comfortable.
I don't see Biden winning. I don't agree with Zach. I don't see Biden winning if he doesn't get some of those Trump supporters and Republican votes. Because those undecided voters, some of them might not even vote. I'm hearing a lot of people say they don't like their options, whether it's Biden or Trump. So some of them might not vote. So I think Biden is focused on getting some of those Trump supporters and some of those undecided supporters and the Bernie supporters. He needs to get all of them. And
Donte, we're gonna have record voter turnout this year. More Americans are going to vote in 2020 than in the history of this country.
But he's not gonna win if you don't get that conservative vote, though.
Donte, have you heard of the Lincoln Project?
No, I have not.
So that's a whole group of Republicans who are coming together in support of Joe Biden. They are well funded, they have lots of money, and they're all Republicans backing Joe Biden. Google it.
That doesn't guarantee a win, though.
So we are going to our next topic because we have beat this one to death. And we are not going to go back to the debate and kind of take a moment. How am I coming? Am I coming across pixelated? No. There's something going on here, but maybe not. So let's talk about the debate. Donte, this was the issue or your topic of the night. What are some things that you wanted to say and who did you feel? Because we were saving your opinion about the debate until now. What was your opinion about the debate?
I don't see how people are deciding winners and losers from that debate because both of them look bad, to be honest. Biden, in my opinion, looked bad when he told Trump to shut up, and then he called him a clown, and then he turned right back around and apologized. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. And then Trump kept attacking him, kept interrupting him, and Biden didn't really do a good job standing his ground. He should have talked over Trump more, and when Trump said some BS stuff, Biden should just called him out and.
Wait, so why did you like that he called him a clown? Like, why did that offend you?
No.
Why did you not like
Biden
it?
called him a clown, told him to shut up, and then he apologized right after for doing that.
And you said you didn't agree or you didn't like that.
Hey, shut up, I'm talking. That's what he should. I mean, it.
Okay, but Trump kept interrupting him like repeatedly over, like baiting him over and
He's
over
saying he
and
like
over
the fact
and
that
over
Biden apologized afterwards after saying that. He's saying that Biden should stick with what he said.
Oh well.
I mean, that's really all I got to say. I don't see nobody winning from that debate. I didn't see no winners. If anything, the American people lost because they're probably more confused than ever after that debate.
Yeah, I have to agree, Dante. I do feel like unfortunately the American people did lose while watching that debate. It was a three-ring circus, a lot of chaos and confusion and over talking. You saw Biden trying to be presidential and present the best decorum, and then you saw Trump just being Trump. One thing, like I said at the beginning, I do personally feel that Biden still won because he actually had great talking points, and in the midst of his talking points, he did present facts and data and numbers. And then I feel like he also won. And what he's saying? I want to win the soul of America, or the soul of America is at stake right now. When he did have those moments to ignore Trump and he looked directly at the camera and he started talking to the people, I felt like, because me as an empath, I was like, wow, he's winning me over in this moment right now too. And I know he probably won many other people over in that moment as well. There was one quote that he said, and I'm paraphrasing, when he said something. I think Chris Wallace asked him a question about the coronavirus response that Trump has done, or the lack thereof, and Biden was like, how many Americans wake up every morning and you sit at your kitchen table and you look across from you and that chair is empty? You had a loved one that used to sit there, but they're not there anymore because they passed away due to COVID-19. And that's, again, 200,000 people that did not have to die. So when he gave that realistic breakdown of people, that's their reality, where I woke up that whatever morning and I'm sitting at my kitchen table and I'm looking across and my dad is no longer there and he did not have to die, I feel like that did impact a lot of Americans. Another funny thing I do want to throw in there, our favorite Sag, CJ Nene, Nene did an interview with Extra TV, and she actually said that she wants to school Biden on how to interact with President Trump. Because she was like, I can give him the best reads. I can overtalk him. She was like, bring Biden to Nene Leaks land, and I will school him on how to win the next debate with Trump. And I really think he may need to take that call.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be real good. That would be real good.
She just needs she needs a coin because she's unemployed. No, thank you, Nene. Stay at home with Greg. That's the worst you ought to do.
She's A-okay.
Greg and Byron them kids. Don't be bothering Biden. You already got your Trump check. Cash it.
She's A-okay, okay? She's A-okay.
I want to say this. No, I'm sorry. Go, CJ. Go.
No, I was just going to say something about Zach, but go ahead.
Oh, look, I want to say this. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't decide a winner. When it came to like some key points, I love the fact that Biden told Trump to shut up. I love the fact that Biden was like, you're not going to bully me, but I wish Biden would talk over Trump more. Like, I really feel like, to me, if I didn't really care about voting and I was a regular person and now I'm interested, to me, I feel like Democrats are weak because they don't speak up for themselves. They're always trying to take let's go do this so can get better. Like, no, sometimes they put their foot on their neck and let them know I'm not here to play with you. Period. But I did like what I'm being said when Biden, like, you know what? Your loved one used to sit there and Trump let him die. Let them die. And that was true. You get what I'm saying? So for me, Biden won. But for me, I think Biden needs to have more practice of like, don't let somebody overtalk you and get you out your game because they're yelling. And it's an old saying, just because you speak loud, don't mean you win.
Well, you know what? There were some things in the debate too that I think did speak volumes. So you did have all the back and forth, but this was a moment from the debate that I thought was very telling. When the wives came up on the stage, Melania came up on stage, stood by her husband. Jill Biden came up on stage and gave her husband a hug and a kiss, and I thought that was a very, very telling moment about both candidates. And I also think that may have resonated with the American people. I want to know from our viewers what your thoughts were of our First Lady Melania Trump and then the wife of Vice President Biden, Jill Biden, coming up. Do you think that how they interacted with their husbands made a difference to the American people? And while you are thinking about that and chiming in, I want to share my story of the night, and it's this. I'm going to enlarge this because a lot of people haven't seen it. I'm making a small video about this that I'm going to post tomorrow on my social media platforms, specifically on Facebook, that takes the recording. This was the recording that was done by Melania Trump's assistant when she was first lady. This was recorded in 2018. In the recording, First Lady Melania Trump was talking and complaining about reuniting children who were separated from their mothers. And this is what she said about Christmas. She said, Christmas stuff that, who gives a F word? And it rhymes with buck. Who gives a buck about Christmas stuff and decorations? But I need to do it, right? So this is what the First Lady of the United States of America said about Christmas decorating at the White House. Who gives a buck, but it starts with an F, about Christmas stuff and decoration? Now, again, here you have the evangelicals all across the world who come together and celebrate the birth of the risen Savior, our Lord Jesus Christ. Christmas. And although Candace says the same thing, Christmas stuff, but who gives a buck about that? This was an extremely offensive statement, I feel, to all Christians, yet many of these Trumpicans have said nothing about it. I want to know, gentlemen, what do you think about the new release tapes from your First Lady and Playboy Bunny, Melania Trump?
Let me say this. And just because we did lead the debate pretty fast. For Trump to say, when he was asked a question about the good boys, and when Trump said stand back and stand by,
the Proud Boys, proud.
Whatever, I don't even care, whoever they racist people. When for you to be a Black American and you heard that man say that, you should be ashamed of trying to vote for Trump. Not going to Melania. I'm not here to crucify people who don't care about certain holidays, because people don't care about certain holidays. It is what it is. And I don't agree with people's private conversations being leaked. I don't like that. I think that's very unprofessional, very unethical, and you should be sued and you should go to jail. Because what I tell you out of privacy of my mouth, and it should be private. Now, if I went on CNN and said, who gives a F about Christmas? That's a difference. Now you want to like a public platform where what you say you could be held accountable. But don't be goddamn recording my private conversation, because you know what, Zach? If we put out there what you say, you probably be SOL right now about some stuff you feel. Going for CJ, going for Vince, going for me too. So I don't agree with private conversations being leaked. So I don't agree with this topic. I don't like it. I don't think it's fair. If it's private, let it remain private.
Well, I'm going to pull Zachary, and I really don't care about the topic. It's Melania. Who cares? Are you surprised that she said this? Honestly, Zachary, I'm surprised that you even picked this topic. Are you really surprised that she said this? Are you really shocked what comes out of her mouth or Trump's mouth? Are you really shocked?
So let me respond to that. So now, number one, Rodney, based upon that conversation, you will never in your life ever get from me an uncensored, unplanned, or uncalculated picture perfect conversation, because I don't trust you anymore. So now let me say that. So you record all you want to, but what you're going to get from Dr. Zachary Kirk is the absolute picture of perfection. So let's say that right here, right now, since you want to put that.
I don't have to record the conversation. Let me say this right now. I think it's disrespectful. It is very disrespectful. Leak somebody's conversations, Zach. So we have to,
I am responding.
That's fine. That's fine. And how you feel, life goes on. It is what it is. However, I don't agree with leaking private conversations. Because if I was a snake in the grass, if I was a dirty individual, not speaking on you, but anybody I know who have private conversations with, I can go leak and tell stuff. But why do that? It's private. It should remain private. I don't agree with folks leaking private conversations. That's all I'm saying. Does that not make sense?
Let me know when you finish so I can respond to CJ.
I'm finished now.
CJ, here is why I decided to bring this to the table for my conversation. One, I wanted to have a topic that everyone could engage in because sometimes I bring topics that people can't say anything about. So I really was hoping that you would have something that you would be able to chime in on this one because I felt as though it was appropriate to you and your sentiments. Number two, I also brought this to the table because the First Lady of the United States actually has a high approval rating. If you Google the number of people that like Melania Trump, sadly, it's very high. Melania Trump and her Better or Be Best or whatever it's called campaign, she has the love of a number of Americans despite how she projects.
Okay, and Trump has the love of a lot of Americans.
So I feel as though, let me finish. I feel as though it is very important for the American people to know who their First Lady really is. And for those who didn't see this last week of the news cycle because there were so many other things in the news, I wanted to put it out there. Unfortunately, I guess it didn't resonate with you, and I just don't know you very well. But
clearly it's not.
I have a surprise. I have an October surprise for you.
No. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You said that, people don't talk about conversation. You're right. I don't talk about things I don't know, unlike some people. But this is not 3+1 media where it's all about politics, but apparently it is. So, yes, you chose this topic, and I had nothing to say about it. And again, like I said, are you surprised that she even said this? One, and two, now that you answered it, you said she's liked by Americans, but isn't a lot of Americans that like Trump?
Is that what you want to talk about, CJ?
No, I don't actually.
Here you go. Take it away. Nene Leaks, everybody.
I have nothing. I don't even know what are we talking about. What are we talking about? You put the picture for what? Like, what are we talking about?
Let me slide
what you're trying to do. But to go back on what you said, you said that a lot of Americans like Melania, but don't a lot of Americans like Trump as well? They do.
No. His approval rating is below 45%.
Whether you agree with it or not, whether you like the man or not, a lot of Americans do like Trump. I don't.
His approval rating has been below 45% the whole year.
Okay, my turn. So, I actually felt that this story sort of was pushed under the radar. I don't know why it didn't catch as much headway as I thought it would. To be honest, for me, I felt listening to the tapes because I watched many interviews with the author of the book. I guess who is she? The former First Lady, a personal assistant, whoever she was. Listening to those tapes, I felt like Melania is conflicted, suppressed, oppressed, and confused. There's a lot of different stories and scenarios that she sort of shared from Christmas, from the children at the border, Fox News, liberal media, and she is really all over the place. Like, the former First Lady assistant was asking her, okay, so when you went to the border, like, how was your work down there? And she was like, I was trying to reunite people. This, Zach, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my takeaway from the Christmas statement, because you did post the most controversial part of what she said, but leading up to making that comment, when she was talking about, I went down to the border and the kids were being snatched away from their parents, and I wanted to do a story on reuniting the kids with those parents, but Fox News didn't want to post that story, and Trump suppresses her from going to liberal media from trying to carry that story. And so what I received from it, and then she was like, who gives a fuck about putting up decorations when I'm trying to reunite kids? That's what she actually said in that statement. Hold on, I'm not done. I'm not done. Wait a minute. I'm not done. So that's what she said leading up to that statement. And I feel like it's very, we got to be careful. What we do when we post certain things, we got to pull up the entire conversation or play the entire conversation in its entirety, because she said, I would rather reunite kids with the parents, those who we always complaining about children stuck at the border, they being ripped from their mama shreds. She trying to go reunite these kids and say, I don't give a fuck about Christmas decorations because I want to do this for the kids. And now we're trying to create this unnecessary hurricane around her. Now, I also feel like there is a large case of oppression and suppression on her end. There is a lack of synergy from the East Wing, her offices, and the West Wing and Trump's offices. I feel like because everybody feels Trump and Melania, they may not, go well together. I think Tatiana put up that she was a sugar baby that just sort of got enveloped into this mess of a Trump presidency or what have you. She may have been out way before this if he wasn't elected president or what have you. But I feel that she wants to do per listening to those interviews. I feel like she wants to do some good, but just Trump and the people will not allow her because the stuff that she wanted to do, she doesn't have the favor and she can't go to back the around the back to get stuff approved and get stuff done. She has to go through processes and policies and protocols and fight with senators and fight with Congress in order for her to do the work that she wants to do, which is why she remains stagnant and silent. I feel like per Michelle Obama, even Laura Bush had more presence as a first lady than Melania Trump does. But I feel that Trump is suppressing her. And this sort of even, rolled me into a whole nother conversation about the women in the White House or what have you. I really feel like Trump utilizes women as pawns because I was watching another interview with Sarah Huckabee Sanders when she was like, well on The View, well, Trump, he had me as the press secretary, and we see McKinney and we see what's Kellyanne Conway and all these women, Hope Hicks. But all of these women underneath him have been pawns. They caught the virus. They got to lie for him. They got to be in the wood chipper. They do all his dirty work. And all the men that on his side, they get away with everything. They're not held at that other standard as we hold the women, so on and so forth. So it's a really interesting dynamic just looking at all the women that is a part of the Trump administration and his presidency to see how unfair and mistreated, to a degree, even though they are for him. Yeah. But it's just real interesting to see that woman dynamic or what have you. So that was my takeaway from the whole piece. It's unfortunate.
And let me say this. I want to say that I read, I think Zach said she wore a shirt that I don't give a fuck about them kids. I don't give a damn about them kids. And she said, what I thought, well, make sure correct if I'm wrong, she wore that jacket so that press can go around it and make it a big issue which she want to bring light to what she really wanted to do. And again, I'm going to say this for the record again, I'm going to leave this alone. If I had a private conversation with anyone, I will hope, and I will really hope that we have enough respect for each other that it will not be leaked. Don't use it against me. Just don't write me no book. Like that's not cool. And now, so that when it made me realize, like, should I really be talking to who I've been talking to? Because I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. And I don't think anybody in the world is perfect. Like, you might want to paint this perfect picture, but no one's perfect. And I feel like what you put out, what you need to be respected as. What I talk about my problems in my home is the problems of my home. Period.
I agree with you, Rodney. I feel that the author of this book, the lady who released the tape, she did it. I don't want to say out of spite, but I feel like her leaving the White House, the Trump administration tried to degrade and slander and dog her, and was trying to make her this big bad wolf and throw a lot of just negative press her way of things that she did not do. So this was just a way of her, for lack of a better word, retaliating. I don't even think, because again, these tapes came out in 2018. It's 2020, but she's had almost 3 years of this stuff. Her life has been impacted. Her way of life has been impacted. She can't work, all because of this administration. So she's like, okay, well, let me hit y'all where it hurts. Because remember, we Democrats and we want to put their foot on that neck. So now I'm trying to put their foot on their neck and I'm trying to expose you. Now we take it to another level. Don't put none of my business out there. You get what I'm saying? So it's
I would agree with that.
Which way we going?
You only do that because you can't find a job because they fired your butt. Let's just keep it above. You got fired for a reason, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And now you retaliate. Now you're trying to make somebody look bad because they fired you. Again, I used to work for numerous companies where I seen some stuff that I didn't agree with. Like I didn't think that was cool. But I can't, but like if I sat there and whatever, I can't get mad and turn around like, ooh, I'm gonna leak every email I seen from my manager's thing. I'm gonna leak, like that ain't cool. I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I'm not the person to be like, what Candy said about needing on Mad Day, you tell all my business. So you was never my friend because I have friends I'm not cool with, but you will never see me go on Instagram rant dogging everything they told me. Period.
I feel sorry for Melania. I mean, she went from taking nude photos to being a gold digger to now she gotta be the first lady. It must be hard for her to switch her whole life around like that. I mean, she probably don't know how to play the role, So when she's wearing shirts like "I don't really care, do you?" That's probably just how she feel. Like she never wanted this. She probably was telling Trump, "Don't run for president. Please don't make me do this. I do not want to be first lady." And now here she is, got to change her whole lifestyle just to play this role that she was never meant to play. So when she says this stuff and she, it comes out, as a leak, like, oh man, this is how she really feels. It probably is. She don't want to decorate no White House, man. She wants to go like, do gold digger women stuff, not first lady stuff.
You know what, Rodney, Dante? I agree with you. I think that, Dante, we are in complete. I agree with what you're saying 110%. I agree with you. I don't think that Melania signed up for this. This isn't what she wanted. And I think that maybe Melania was reared to be a certain kind of a wife. And this isn't what she was trained to do. So I agree with that. And again, I mean, she's a trained model, whether nude or lewd, but that is true. I think Rodney, I want to go to Candy.
I really do feel sorry.
Candy brings some good points. Wait, what happened, Dante?
I said I feel sorry for her in her current situation.
Zach Thomas earlier said, "How can you feel sorry for her?" I don't feel sorry for her because I think Christian said this is what she signed up for. So there are sacrifices that you make when you are a trophy wife, not saying she is one, but if that is what she is, then that is absolutely the case. This is something Candace brought up, Rodney, is that I think what she said is that you were looking at it from a friendship point of view. This was Melania's employee. So she's looking at it from like an HR point of view. If your employer is abusive, should you not have record of that abuse? If your employer is unethical, should you not have evidence of that unethical behavior?
Okay, so I guess I didn't read enough. Or I didn't do research enough. So from what I read, she was saying that she wanted to cover a certain story. And then I guess she went on rant like, I don't give a F about Christmas. Y'all want to cover Christmas trees and do all this stupid stuff. I want to record about this. And then she wants to say, now if I wear a shirt, I don't care. Did they get all the publicity at me? Let me say this. I'm not going to sit here and say I did not make friends with any of my managers or people worked under me. It's like 3 people that I actually do talk to while I'm not working anymore that I'm really close to. And I mean, in the day, it is working, but we cannot say we don't build friendships within where we work. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that's not ever happened to me. So, I mean, I don't agree stuff should be leaked. I think it should be private. If it's not, for the record, I guess people need to start signing NDAs. Like, if I got to have NDA friendships, what we talk about, you better not speak. I'm going to sue your ass. Period. Because, like, it should
very brief. Yeah, very briefly. Here's the background on the assistant. She worked for, she was actually over the inauguration. She was like the leader of the inaugural committee for Donald Trump. And then she was hired to work for Melania Trump. And she then, was like, part of the Melania Trump team. Well, there were several $1 million in money given to the inaugural committee of Donald Trump that was unaccounted for. And the campaign put all the blame on her. She was the fall guy for the whole entire administration, despite all the men involved and all the people involved. She was the fall guy. So, to be honest, a lot of this is retaliation. And I guess on principle, Rodney, I have to say I do agree with you in the fact of it is unethical and it's wrong what she did. I agree with that. These private conversations shouldn't have been leaked. Mm-hmm. It should have been a case of, let me tell you what she said, and then if she denied it, you bring the tapes up. That is, to me, maybe a better way that it would have been. And we have, and then, Candace agrees. I also, Candy, I would never record either. I agree with you there. And then again, Brandy says it's the first lady. She needs to watch what she says. She's a public figure. But I think going back to Dante's point, she may not have known what that meant at the time. And, we go now to Vince. This is an issue that has been highlighted in the media and probably rightly so. Tell us about your story for the week.
Yeah, so protect Black women. So it actually stems from the first presidential debate. On my Facebook timeline after the debate went off the air, a lot of people were discussing on who they thought should be the next moderator. And it was a slew of people like, oh, they need a Black woman to moderate because, Black mamas don't play and Black women know how to hold this down. They know how to moderate this, that, and the third. And so while I was reading all of these statuses, just something popped in my mind because I was like, okay, So now we're for the black woman, but which black woman? Is it the Megan Thee Stallion black woman when we drag her from talking about WAP, or when we don't believe her from getting shot in the foot? Is it the Kamala black woman? Because all of y'all were tearing her down when she got the nomination. Was it Beyonce black woman? Because remember, she is doing spooky stuff for Black is King. Is it the Housewives of Potomac or Atlanta? Because half of y'all are for Kenya getting dragged, and half of y'all are for Monique hitting Candace. So which black woman do we want? And I feel like, and after I was thinking about that, I found the article on Essence, which I found it to be hilarious that they posted it. Like, I don't even think it's been a week that the article was posted, because it's like, there was a quote. Let me pull this up real quick. If you're going to yell the battle cry, quote unquote, protect black women, maybe make sure it's inclusive of all black women, not just the ones you favor. Emphasis on the word favor. And I feel like just the list of black women in whatever genre and audiences and circles that they roam around in, I do feel like as people, as black men or what have you, that we do tend to sort of double dutch this thing. And even going to the Breonna Taylor situation or what have you, it's like, I know I'm definitely for Breonna Taylor receiving justice, but there are black people out there that are like, well, maybe she's hanging around the wrong people. If she wasn't hanging around the wrong people, then, you know, her address wouldn't have came up. But So are you wanting to protect Breonna Taylor and get her justice? You get what I'm saying? So this protect black woman canvas is so large, and it's so vast, and it's so many spectrums. But I really wanted to just hear the hearts from y'all, just on your take on it.
Well, I'm glad you actually posted this. I don't know if you Zach. You didn't even talk about the video that happened in Boston. From the article.
Right. And the Stallion video. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. So apparently this guy and this girl were dating. He took her out shopping for the day and took her to a 5-star restaurant. And then I guess as he was going to get the car or whatever he was going to go get, she was out twerking in the restaurant. He caught wind of it outside and banged on the door, and then she seen it, ran off, and he went to go attack her. The video cut off at the end though. So did you get to see the rest of the video or not? So do we not know what happened? Did he jump on her? Did he beat her up, or what happened?
Well, I think if it was a domestic violence case, we probably would have heard about it by now. I think he just chased her out of the building. And really quickly, the reason why I probably skipped over not utilizing that as an example is because I had other examples to be the catalyst for this conversation. You get what I'm saying?
Oh no, I get it. I just figured I was a part of it since it was in the article. I noticed that video in that article. I think we should protect our black women 100%. I mean, is there a right type of black woman to protect? I think women are women, regardless of the situation. We should protect our black women. That's my opinion.
I want to say this. I really hate
But that's such.
that we like to Zach. I mean, to not Zach point, to CJ point. We're like, who do we protect? Which one do we protect? Even to this point, like, even for let me talk about the video with her shaking her butt, whatever. I feel like that's a relationship issue. It's no one that Rodney Wash would ever date that's gonna pinpoint where I go. I'm not asking you permission to go outside. I will inform you where I'm going, and I'm not gonna share my location, all this other stuff that people do just because I'm in a relationship, because I'm married. I'm still an individual. So respect me as an individual. If she can do stuff, that's her business. But do I agree with you? Like, I think like he snatched her up. Like, that's abusive. Like, I don't care what somebody do. Like, twerking and dancing. You knew what she was. She had on a dress. Like let people be. I guess I said let people be people and respect people for what they are. And I do feel like black women are very disrespected, because if there was a man, recording a woman and she's shaking her butt, like it would have been a big ordeal with him doing that, because she's shaking her butt for another man. Now it's a big old issue. Like, I don't understand that. I think we respect people as individuals and respect what they do. We don't respect the black women. I don't agree. We do not respect black women. They are the most respected people.
There's no need for violence against the woman, but no shade. She shouldn't have been twerking in a restaurant. Like, it's not a strip club. Like,
Let me say this.
I'm all about protecting our women, but again, she shouldn't have been twerking at a restaurant. Like, why are you doing that for?
Let me say this. So you're telling me that you ain't never been out with your friends, right? And y'all go to a club, and whatever club you go, that's your business. And then you
club, sweetie. We're talking about a restaurant.
Whatever. I mean, people flirt at restaurants too and do stuff.
Rodney, a club is different.
You better not put your hands on me.
I'm just saying, you're at a club. That's a bad analogy. She was at a 5-star restaurant. I don't care if she was at a 2-star restaurant. You're at a restaurant twerking your ass in front of the waiter. Like, who does that? Like, come on now. Now, it wasn't right for how he reacted. I'm
so glad. Like, oh my God. CJ is CJ.
Hold on, Zach. You actually are stuck on the screen. You are really stuck. And I don't want to do you like that. Like, please get off and get back on. Because CJ about to get you. Yeah.
I'm back. Hello?
Yeah, you good now. I ain't
every time I talk about CJ, yep, CJ, that's the face that you made me make when you said that any woman she has a choice. I hope you heard, Donte. Your brother literally just said that he will twerk at any given restaurant that he wants to. But CJ, she has the right to twerk when she wants to twerk. Nobody should feel endangered if that's what she wants to do. It's not appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate. It's not something that I would ever do. It's not somebody who I would ever be in partnership would ever do. But if that's how she wanted to express herself, that's her choice. It does not ever support the violence. This is what this is about. This is about respectability politics. And
first of all, I said no woman should be disrespected. That's the first thing I think I said.
You said that, but then you came
what I said was that she should not be, and what I also said was if that was me, I would have had a conversation. I wouldn't have went off like he did, and I wouldn't resort to violence. I would have had a probably heated conversation with her, but it wouldn't have got violent, for one. Two, you're right. You can twerk wherever you want to twerk at. That is your freedom of rights. You can do whatever you want to do. But common sense and common courtesy, if you're at a restaurant and it's not that type of environment, you're not at a club, you're not at a strip joint, you're not at your girlfriend's house, you're at a restaurant eating. Why would you sit here and twerk in front of a waiter when it's not that type of environment?
Because it's a free country.
And that's what I would be pissed off about. I'd be like, this is not the time and place. Why are you doing that for? That's all I'm saying.
I definitely want to explore Candy's comments, gentlemen. I'm going to bring those up in a minute. All I want to say is you have the right. I don't think it's appropriate to twerk at a restaurant. But again, if this is what she chose to do, it's her individual choice. And she should deal with the social ramifications, but never the physical ramifications. When we talk about protecting Black women, it's not saying I want to protect a certain kind of Black woman. Let me protect the kind of Black woman that I think is appropriate. Let me care about Michelle Obama. Let me care about Breonna Taylor, but let me not care about Meg Thee Stallion or Cardi B because they don't align with my sense of what is to be respected. All Black women, including even trans women, deserve the respect and the protection of the Black community, and not only the Black community, but America as a whole, because of what they have given, because of what they have sacrificed, and because of what they endure, because of the social system and the systemic racism of the American nation. That is the bottom line. To me, this is all of this is just like not even an issue because, yeah, we must protect Black women. Now, Candy brings up some more. I will say, Candy, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe that we are qualified as men to even discuss this with you. But I do want everyone to at least think about it because you bring up a good point. Candy said that, number one, a lot of women are traditional, especially in the Black community, and they may want a man like what this lady found, and they're not ready to deal with that kind of a man. That was a good point. You then said that women be saying they want an alpha man, like the big, strong alpha male, who is independent and wealthy and all that, and they get him, and then they still try to act single, like maybe twerking for a waiter, and that man may not be having it. Some men flash out when their woman acts like that. This is true. And I do believe that that is true, but it doesn't excuse the violence or any kind of abuse towards that woman. It shouldn't happen. He may dump her, he may leave her, but he should never raise his hand against her. Or at least that's what I believe.
Right. So to Zach's point, I feel like everything you said is completely accurate. But to go to the root of why I suggested to cover this topic is just like you said, we want to care about the Michelle Obama type of black woman, but we don't want to care about the Meg Thee Stallion type of black woman. Why? Why is it that? Even in our own conversations, and get this too, it's beyond physically. Yes, we don't want to do domestic violence. I'm not for it. We're not condoning violence or anything like that. But even how we react to black women, mentally, verbally, all that stuff. Like, why is that always the issue? And Zach,
You know why?
hold on, but no, I don't. That's why that's why I put the topic in the thread. And Zach, to your point, is like when you said, well, this isn't even an issue because we should protect all black women, but we are not. And that's why it's an issue. And that's why I wanted to raise the topic.
It's such a broad statement, though, protect all black women, because, I mean, I heard, didn't Zach say that if you vote for Trump, then you don't really like, did he say something that, he don't really care about you or something? So suppose you're a black woman, you vote for Trump. So does that black woman get protected too?
Are you talking? Like, are you saying that? Are you asking me if I would protect Candace Owens?
Well, no. Well, you said that if you said that,
No.
I think it was a live stream. You said you do not. You said that you do not care for black people that are voting for Trump. So
You're
you got
correct.
some black women that are voting for Trump. So do you
Thank
not care
you.
about them?
You're correct. Zachary Kirk would not protect Candace Owens. Zachary Kirk would not protect Angela Stanton King. Angela King Stanton, or whatever her name is. You are correct, Donte. So thank you for calling me on my contradiction.
We're protecting some black women and not all.
I can't protect anyone who has damaged and harmed the black community as a whole. That's like saying in the film Black Panther, we're going to protect Killmonger just because he once was a member of the tribe. If you are an enemy of the village, you can't be protected by the village. So I thank you for calling that out, because Zachary Kirk most certainly doesn't feel that he will ever defend Candace Owens or Diamond and Silk, the two raisins in milk.
So they can't be saved, they can't be helped, just cut them off and just be done with them?
Zachary Kirk has cut them off and will never accept them back. That is what Zachary Kirk will do.
What exactly did they do that just makes you say that? Because they're conservative?
Because they spread lies and disinformation that hurts the black community. And not only that hurt the black community, but they're hurting the black community in the eyes of other communities that perpetuate stereotypes that further set us back in our efforts to end systemic racism and oppression.
But you got some black Democrats that hurt the black community. So I don't get your point.
Give me some examples.
You got some black women that are being sheets for the Democratic Party.
Give me examples of who you speak of. I don't know of any black woman who is being used by the Democratic Party to hurt the black community. I don't know of one.
Let me see. I think it was Hillary that invited the black moms on her convention that died due to police brutality. You think Hillary actually cared about those black women and what they went through?
I do. Guess what?
I think she was just trying to pander for votes.
Lucy McBath. One of the women is a congresswoman now, Lucy McBath. So yeah, I think she did care about him. And not only did she care about him, she helped him get elected and win an election and unseat a sitting senator. I mean, unseat a sitting representative. So yeah, I think she did, and I think she backed that up by supporting Lucy McBath's candidacy when she ran.
So
those moms lost children.
That's just not pandering to black people?
No, that's not pandering to black people. Even when Hillary Clinton said she had hot sauce in her bag, that wasn't pandering to black people. She has hot sauce in her bag.
That was pandering. That was her trying to connect.
That's pandering. That's not pandering.
It's like when Joe Biden talked to Cardi B. What did they have to do? He was trying to reach out to the black community by talking to Cardi B.
When Joe Biden,
no.
Donte, you made a valid point. She took a phrase from Beyonce and she said it to get the black people vote. I agree with you.
Hold on, but no, because I was waiting for somebody to bring up that Joe Cardi B conversation in this whole Democrats pandering the black vote. This is completely going away from my topic, but I did want to put this out there on the mainstream. I get so tired of conservatives and Republicans saying that Democrats pander the black vote. Okay, we just saw Trump come here 2 weeks ago and did a whole rally at the Cobb Galleria to engage in black voters. And in that rally, he said that I will endorse Juneteenth. He said that I will be for an anti-lynching bill and all this stuff that was on the black agenda that this fool had 3.5 years to do, and then came around 3 days later at the debate and could not denounce white supremacy. So when Republicans and conservatives talk about Democrats pandering the black vote, get out of here, because y'all president, y'all elected official is sitting up here doing the same thing. And I'm tired of the word pandering. For me, it's marketing, okay? It is stupid for me if I know that I got a Cardi B in my pocket and she caters to a whole bunch of millennials and Generation Z's, and she can and she is a Democrat. If I'm running for president, that is a dumb business decision for me not to align myself and engage myself in the audience with people that could assist in not swaying them to vote for me, but at least have them listen to my message. And I strongly feel that if the Republican Party had a Carrie Underwood or had a Kelly Clarkson, or you see they use Kid Rock. Kid Rock is probably one of their few A-lister rock stars out there that can actually that can do something in their favor. So I'm tired of the pandering. That's marketing. You use people. That's good business. You use people that are for what is it for your goal, and you bring them aboard and you call it a day. That's marketing. That ain't pandering.
But I don't understand that though. I mean, Joe Biden in no way at all has any connection to Cardi B. I'm pretty sure Joe Biden didn't even know who Cardi B was.
Wrong. You're wrong.
How am I
Cardi
wrong
B's
current
although they're getting a divorce, although Offset and Cardi B are getting a divorce, Offset's mother is a leader in the Georgia Democratic Party, and she arranged for that to happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're wrong. There is a connection there. There's a connection through Offset's mom, who's very active. And I'm glad that you enjoyed Kid Rock back in the day, Candace. He made some good songs in the 1999, 2000, 2001, but he is definitely on the D list today. CJ had to step away for a moment. I do want to bring up one last thing very briefly, not long at all, because I know that we're approaching overtime. On Saturday night, Meg the Stallion on Saturday Night Live came out with the whole entire Protect Black Women with a great clip. If you didn't see that, please Google it. It was a great performance. It was a great way to start off a new season of Saturday Night Live. And just because I know that she is a fan favorite of this show, specifically of CJ and Vince, I do want to talk about the media tour that the one and only Nene Leakes went on last week. Last week, Nene Leakes went on several talk shows, had several clips where she then attacked Andy Cohen, called him a racist. She also attacked Wendy Williams and told her that she needs to drain her ankles and legs, despite the fact that Wendy Williams has a serious illness. And she has done this on several platforms, including the Tamron Hall show. I really wanted to know, Vince and Rodney and Donte and CJ, what are your thoughts on what your favorite housewife is doing? Because I have some thoughts, but I want to hear from those who love her first.
Well, she's not my favorite.
That's why I said those who love her first.
Oh. Let me say this, though. Again, this goes back to you speaking on things that people tell you privately. Wendy told you privately that she was dealing with a health issue. You should not never went on anybody's social media platform and did that. Now, when Wendy said she was born, I don't want to see Greg. That's an opinion. That's not saying, Nene only got this so much money in the bank, or she did this, or that. She ain't telling any business. Nene is known for when she's mad with you, you told her something, she gonna spread it to the world, she's gonna spread it wide and spread it long. I don't trust people like Nene. I don't like that. Because if I was once your friend, give me back like I got you. Don't go blow the bell and say stuff that I told you out of confidence.
Okay,
Period.
so first of all, Wendy Williams has been very public about her lymphedema.
The name of the disease is lymphedema.
Lymphedema with her legs. She's been very open about it. She talks about every damn show she's on why she wears sneakers. So that's not nothing private. Two, the only reason why Nene had made a comment about Wendy Williams and her should go get a water pill is because of what Wendy said. Wendy, if I'm your friend, you shouldn't be saying that. When Andy Cohen is messy, he asked her, "What do you think about Nene leaving the show?" And as Andy being messy. And Wendy said, "Oh, well, I think Nene is just doing this for attention. She likes to be extra. Who wants to see Nene and Greg? That's boring. Who wants to see Nene go to Hollywood? That's boring." Like, she went on with lists. If I'm your friend, you should just be like, "Look, I think she's going to be back on the show. I wish her nothing but the best." And I would have left it at that. Wendy was being messy. And that's why Nene went back and said what she said, rightfully so. Now, what she
let me say this. Wait.
Health issue that Wendy is secret about, because everyone knows about Wendy's health thing. So, no, cut it. That's the only advice she said.
Wendy has on record, she says she don't like being friends with people who are actors or celebrities, because if she has to talk about you, she has to do it. It's her job. And Wendy has a
moment she didn't have to. She was on the show with Andy Cohen, and she did not have to say what she said.
Let's be clear. Let's be real.
You and me are friends, and if you stopped being on the show and I said all that shit about you, you would feel some type of way about it. Yes, you would.
If that's your job, I'm not gonna get mad at it.
No, it's not your job. No.
You don't get paid on a national platform. Period. But I mean, who wants? Okay, let's raise a hand and ask the people watching this. Who will watch a show with Nene and Greg? Please raise your hand. Let's do it. Let's count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Two out of 3. So I guess that's a quantitative data that we can say that's gonna work. But I don't see, for me, I don't see Nene being. I feel like Winnie had some key points. It's a political move. She did this in season 8 or 7, where she didn't want to come back because of and she came back. So I'm not watching it. I don't care for it. Donte, I want to know what you think about Nene. Will you watch Nene and Greg? Unmute yourself.
I do not.
So, I think that you guys
hold on. 1 second. I didn't even watch the Nene press tour, actually. So I missed all of that.
It's on demand.
One thing, just watching some social media clips, I feel like Nene was very adamant about. She went in peace. She said her goodbyes, and she called it a day. People come around the corner getting slick at the mouth. You provoke the beast, you get big. And that's what it is. And I also feel that is a mentality that often splits this panel, i.e. the Candace versus Monique situation. Your team, Candace, you don't think that da-da-da-da-da-da. My thing is, you ought not provoke me to get your ass beat. Okay, see, that's the thing. Don't nobody want to hold provokers accountable. You can sit up there and say all that bullshit. Then when I pull up at your house, because I'm taking it personally, and you feel like you're just doing par for the course, and you can roll your eyes. But then when I smack you in your face from rolling your eyes, do you want to cry victim? I feel like that just may be
when you provoke someone.
That's what I'm saying. Don't nobody want to hold a provoker, but then as soon as the provoker sit up there and say, drag me, you're requesting me to drag you. I'm going to drag your ass. Then you want to go on a smear campaign and act like, oh my God, I don't know. Why did they hit me? Oh my God.
You asked that. Freaking Frack, are you guys done? Freaking Frack, are you finished?
No, it is what it is. Don't provoke me, and you ain't gonna get your ass beat.
For someone that don't watch the show, you should have know all the characters' names and past characters, because someone don't watch it.
I watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just because I don't like Nene Leakes doesn't mean I don't like the show.
No, you made it very clear before that you don't watch the show like that. You made it very clear that you don't watch the show like that. So for someone to watch the show, you damn sure know the characters' names.
CJ, I've never said I didn't. You know what? This is just like you not reading the articles. It's you not knowing your facts.
Well, it's just like you talking about hold on. It's just like you talking about the Melania Trump incident, but then it mentioned the whole tape recording. Oh, okay.
See,
right. And it was your story. It was your story. And you want to talk about how she said fuck Christmas, but didn't tell the whole story. So miss me with it.
I chose not to. That was a choice I made.
Miss me with it. So let's be
I
real.
want to
Let's be
traditionally
real.
move
Shit about it. Vince had to school you on it. Thank you.
CJ,
Can I say this for the record?
I never made my point. Let me make my point. Then
You don't need to make your point.
You're right. You're right. I'm with you. Did not make your point. You're right. I agree with you on that one.
I want to say several things.
Rodney's always making a point. He's always making a point. Let Rodney talk because your point's invalid. You was wrong, sweetie. You didn't know your topic, and Vince finished it for you.
Vince, what I wanted to say was if you want to talk about Candace and Monique, bring it to the actual group. Let that be your story. Because I know you want to say something about it, but it's not about Candace and Monique. But when you're ready to have that conversation between those that know how to conduct themselves professionally and those that are ghetto, hood rat, trash people, then we can have that conversation. But
professionally, that's not slandering somebody on Twitter. So saying derogatory stuff on Twitter is professional. If you were to do that, if you were to say anything that Candace has said about any one of these four gentlemen on this panel, to the degree and the severity that she has said, do you think that's educated? Do you think that's professional? Do you think that's morally right? Do you? Because if you do, then that is the vibe. You ought not provoke me, so I won't whoop your ass. Period.
It's just a difference in people and how they're raised.
You're highly educated, but you have a ratchet side to yourself as well. So don't go there. Don't go there.
Dillard Bassett.
I'm talking about you. Don't go there.
Educated woman.
You just said that Candace is educated, but this is also the same educated bitch that threw a butter knife at someone's face in their own home. That's educated and that's classy, right? So Miss
Candace, it is.
And Candace did it. She took a knife and threw it at somebody.
Then that, again, you can say this all day.
It's facts.
May I speak now? Can I reclaim my time, Maxine Waters?
You can reclaim it because I'm not going to say one negative word about Candace Dillard.
I don't want
you to say what you want about Monique. You don't know Monique and you don't know Monique. I know Candace. I love Candace. And I'm going to defend her to the end because that's exactly
right. It's okay to take a knife and throw it at somebody.
Let me say this.
Hold up. It's okay to take a knife and throw it at somebody?
It's not. But let me say this.
Okay.
I'm going to say this. It's just certain things you're not going to do to me that I do not tolerate. And I let people know this if, it's just three things I like you talk about. And if you are provoking me and you're telling me to do stuff and your finger is within 1 inch from my face, I feel attacked. And then now is your finger on the 1 inch from your face. You saying, drag me. You gonna drag me? Drag me. So you are asking to get your ass whooped, period. And they ain't got nothing to do with black woman or black man stuff. Ain't nobody gonna put their hands in my face. Now I can fight you all day with words if we are socially distanced. But the moment you cross the comfort line for me, I'm protecting myself. I don't think it's ghetto. I don't think it's hood rat. I don't think anything. She, because let's just keep it a buck. If any one of you, even my brother, we had fights before. It is what it is, but I love him. Like, if you come in my face, me and Donte had a lot of fights, but we were brothers. Long Donte sat on his side of the room and talked this stuff, I was okay with. The minute I came, Donte Fitz came out, guess what? We scrapped. Because you're not gonna come with nobody's comfort zone and thinking it's okay. Because you cannot tell me what Monique's comfort zone was. Because you can't tell somebody how they should feel threatened. Period.
Well, I mean, bottom line, I guess Zachary has a personal relationship with Candace, and he's going to support
her. They don't understand how reality TV works, and they don't know Candace. They don't know her, and they don't know Monique. But the difference is Monique don't know who they are. That's the difference. They're fighting independent. They're sitting here arguing about
somebody having a baby. That's trash.
You don't know her. You don't know her.
Stuff about Ashley. Like we not gonna like Candace. Angel.
Right. So bottom line, Zachary has a personal relationship with Candace. He knows her personally, so you're going to defend her, and that's fine. And if you think it's classy and educated for someone to take a butter knife and throw it at their face,
yeah.
And somebody that's trash.
By all means.
Yep.
And if you think it's educated, she's so educated that she's moved it off for her mother to pay for her wedding in her home while she has a full-fledged husband. Then by all means, whatever. I'm done with the conversation.
And the conversation is done with you.
Donte, do you have anything to say about this?
Nah, I don't watch trash.
Donte,
I've been
what
done
do
with,
you
I've,
watch?
I've been I've been
Donte,
done
what
with
do you
I've been
watch?
done with reality TV shows for like years.
What do you watch, Donte?
I watch Fox News, Zach.
Sounds like trash to me. So, with that being said, we have gone overtime. That is CJ.
Wait. Since we over time, I think this is something really important. I actually shared it, but instead of me putting the crying emoji, I put the laughing emoji, and I was just like horrified that I did it. Did y'all not see? Because we were talking about protecting Black women, then we would all left field about, Candace and Monique. Did y'all not see that Black girl getting hung in Texas by them 2 white boys? That truly broke my heart.
No, I didn't see that. Didn't see it, buddy.
I didn't hear nothing about it actually, and
Yeah,
that's
it's
sad.
gonna be I'll put that on next Monday, Chuck. It really bothered me.
Well, please do, because that is sad. I didn't know nothing about it, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It has been a pleasure. It has been a bumpy ride, but I think that we have landed the plane. Donte, it has been a pleasure, my friend, to have you with us. We look forward to you joining us every Monday. You always give good insight, and we do need that balanced voice. You can continue to watch Fox News. You will be misinformed with disinformation, but that's a choice that only you can make. I know that if you have Fox News, you also have CNN or MSNBC. So all I can ask that you do is just to choose wisely for what works best for you. Everyone, thank you and have a great week.